cavalry horse with the speed of light, a cloud of dust, and a hearty hi-yo silver. The Lone Ranger.
It's gold, all right. Looks like a rich strike.
Me think much gold on ground here. See sign everywhere.
Looks like you're going to be a rich man, Red Hawk.
Gold not belong to me. This Indian reservation. Gold belong to whole tribe.
That's right, son. The tribe owns the mineral rights to this land. The gold belongs to all of them.
You Indian agent, you our friend. See we not get cheated.
Sure, that's my job. But you did the right thing coming to me with this first.
You sure no one else in your tribe knows about this?
No, me no tell anyone else yet. Gold sometime make trouble. Me not want that.
Well, there isn't going to be any trouble. I'll see to that. Now, you go on back to your village and just leave this to me.
Me go tell my father about gold now. He great chief. He should know.
Well, I guess it's all right to tell him about it now. Go ahead if you like.
Father be pleased. Tribe have plenty good things now. Me go.
Well, I hope I don't have to tell you what the next move is.
No. I think I'm smart enough to figure that out for myself.
Let him get a mile or so away from this spot. I'm going back to Fort Thorne. Let me know as soon as the job's done.
Right.
What you see, Kemosabe?
Up ahead, Tonto, alongside the trail. What is it?
Look like body. Come on.
It's one of your people, Tonto.
Him dead. Shot through chest.
I wonder who he is.
Me know him. Him Red Hawk, son of Apache Chief Lone Eagle. Wear sign.
Lone Eagle's son, huh? This could be very serious.
What you think happened?
It looks as though we were ambushed.
But why him killed? Apache's at peace now. Signed big treaty.
I know. That's why this is serious. Someone's coming. We'd better not let them find us here before we know more about this. Let's get behind those rocks over there.
Him Apache Kemosabe, named Lone Eagle, father of Red Hawk.
I don't like this, Tonto.
What we do, Kemo Sabe?
Well, first we'll stop at our camp, and then we'll ride to Fort Thorne and tell the colonel there what's happened. After that, we'll come back here and look around.
You think Lone Eagle will make trouble?
He might. Depends on who's responsible for the crime. If a white man did it, let's get out of here quietly.
Where have you been? I expect you here long before this.
I had a report to the sergeant. He had a detail for me.
What about Red Hawk?
It's all taken care of.
Oh, good. This is going to be a profitable day for us, my boy.
The one thing you might be forgetting, Red Hawk's the son of an important chief. His killing could lead to an Indian uprising.
I haven't forgotten that. Nothing would please me more.
You want him to go on the warpath?
I want him off this reservation. I can't think of a better way to accomplish that.
Say, you're right at that. The Indians break the peace treaty, the government will send the whole tribe back to Oklahoma Territory.
Exactly. An Indian uprising will give us a perfect opportunity to take over their land.
I never thought I'd be hoping for an Indian war.
Come in. Well?
Colonel Hayes wants to see you, Mr. Haskins. Right away.
Very well. You wait here. I've persuaded the colonel to assign you as my assistant. You sent for me, Colonel?
Yes. As Indian agent, I thought you ought to be in on this. Chief Lone Eagle just brought me grave news. His son, Red Hawk, has been ambushed and killed just a short while ago.
Oh, that is shocking news. You have my sympathy.
No want sympathy. Want justice.
Justice?
Lone Eagle is convinced that his son was killed by someone here at Fort Thorne. He's given us 24 hours to produce the murderer.
Or he'll consider the peace treaty at an end.
Well, what makes the chief so certain that a soldier killed his son?
Him killed with white man's bullet. Me no.
He showed us the bullet. It's from one of the new Army rifles just received here. None of the Indians have them.
Besides, the boy had no enemies among his own people. That's well known.
Oh, this sounds bad.
It is bad. I've been trying to persuade the chief to extend his deadline. 24 hours is such a short period.
24 hours, plenty time, if white men mean business.
Of course we mean business. But there are no clues. Can't you think of something to say?
Well, I'm afraid I can't.
Me go back to village. If no catch killer by sundown tomorrow, peace treaty broken.
Well, it's a fine mess we're in.
There are no clues to the murderer at all?
Not a one.
Then it looks like we're in for an Indian war.
War nothing. It'll be a massacre. I've got a handful of men here against thousands of Indians. But we couldn't hold out for a day.
Well, then, maybe you better send for reinforcements.
That could be fatal. The Indians learn of it, they'd attack at once.
That would be more fatal just to sit here and wait. I think you ought to send for more troops and attack the Indians before they advance against us.
Mr. Haskins, my job is to prevent Indian wars, not to start them.
Sir, Mr. Haskins may be right. Remember, there are hundreds of innocent settlers living in this area. And if Fort Thorne falls, they'll be at the mercy of hostile Indians.
Come in.
Excuse me, sir. There's a man with a mask who says he must see you.
All right, Sergeant. I'll do the explaining. I'm sorry to intrude like this, Colonel, but I must speak to you at once.
Shall I handle this for you, sir?
There's no need for that, Captain. This mask does not mean I'm unfriendly.
It's all right, Sergeant. Who are you and what do you want?
I came to tell you that Chief Lone Eagle's son, Red Hawk, was killed a short while ago. It appears to be murder.
We know all about that. Lone Eagle just left here.
How did you know about it?
My Indian friend and I found the body. I was a good friend of Colonel Miles, the former commandant here at Fort Thorne.
Oh?
This letter that I received from him recently will help identify me.
So you're the man that helped Colonel Miles settle that trouble with the Blackfeet?
That's right. I'm always interested in promoting peaceful relations between good Indians and white men.
Well, we'd appreciate your help with our present trouble.
If you don't mind, it would help me if you'd tell me just what Lone Eagle said to you.
He gave us 24 hours to produce the murderer or face an Indian war.
And if you're so good at tracking down criminals, go out and get this one for us.
I might just do that, Captain. I appreciate the position you're in, but I'd like to feel sure that I have the full 24 hours to work in. Can you promise me that?
I can promise you this much. I'm not planning to make any move before then.
Good. That's all I need to know.
Just a moment. How do you know that this isn't the murderer himself?
Would I call on the colonel in this fashion if I were the guilty man?
You might have. How do we know what you're up to? I still say you ought to send for more troops and hit the Indians before they hit us.
And I still disagree with you, Haskins. All right, mister. Go ahead, see what you can do. We can't be any worse off than we are.
Thank you, Colonel.
Colonel, I think you're making a great mistake.
Nevertheless, I'm in command here.
What'd you find out, Kemosabe?
It's just as we thought, Tonto. Lone Eagle threatens to start an uprising unless his son's murderer is found within 24 hours.
That's not much time. Think we can do?
We've got to. An Indian uprising now would mean a massacre. Let's go back to where we found the body and start doing some checking.
On your feet, Cole. You got a job to do.
What's wrong?
Some stranger stuck his nose into this thing. Claims he can solve the crime. A masked man.
A masked man?
Yes, he's just left the fort. I want you to follow him, see where he goes and what he does.
You want me to take care of him?
Not unless you have to. Just keep an eye on him. Let me know if he finds anything important.
Well, sounds easy enough.
Red Hawk was coming down the trail when he was killed. He fell off to the left. And since he was shot in the chest, the killer must have been hiding somewhere up in that ledge.
Plenty of rocks there for a man to hide behind.
Let's go up there and look.
Look here, Kemosabe. Hoofprints. This where horse stood. Him ride army horse, tell by shoe prints. Army use special kind.
That makes one thing fairly certain, Tonto. The man we want is stationed at Fort Thorne.
Man get off and walk away. Man kneel behind rock.
You're right, Tonto. Someone did kneel behind that rock. Must have been the man who killed Red Hawk.
Soldiers sometime kneel to fire a rifle.
Yes. They're taught to fire from that position for long range.
There are many soldiers at Fort Thorne. How we know which one?
If we backtrack on this trail, we may find some additional clue.
Trail look fresh, not be hard to follow.
Let's try it.
Trail here and ride uphill.
He must have been following Red Hawk and left the trail here to cut ahead of him. Let's keep going, Tonto.
Horses tied here, Kemosabe. 3 horses.
There are footprints all over the ground here.
Some prints made by moccasin, some by boots. Me think Red Hawk talk with white men.
It looks that way. Look, 2 white men.
Tracks lead over there.
Let's take a look.
Footprints stop here, Kemosabe.
Look, Tonto, gold. Now we know the motive for the crime. Red Hawk must have discovered this gold and then told someone at Fort Thorne about it. And they killed him to keep him silent.
You know who man is, Kemosabe?
Well, if Red Hawk followed government orders, he reported the gold to the Indian agent.
Then you think Indian agent guilty?
It begins to look that way, Tonto.
But we have no proof.
Not yet.
Look out!
There he goes. Come on, Tonto. Where'd he hit you? He just nicked you. You're going to be all right. Now, take it easy.
Him get away, we follow.
We couldn't hope to catch him now. But don't worry. We'll get him later, and his accomplice.
Haskins. Well? That masked man knows about the gold. He's found the place.
What?
I took a shot at him, but I missed, and I had to beat it. There's 2 of them. He's got an Indian friend with him.
There was something about that masked man. I knew he was clever. I better go over to the colonel's office and find out what's going on. You stay here.
I'm afraid the textbooks have no answer for this situation, Captain. I'm in trouble no matter what I do.
Unless you find the man who killed Red Hawk.
With less than 12 hours to do it in. Come in. Oh, hello, Haskins.
Any word from the masked man yet?
Not yet.
Time's getting short, Colonel. Seems to me you ought to be sending for reinforcements.
I'm beginning to think you're right. Come in. Oh, here's the masked man now. We've just been talking about you, mister. Did you bring me any news?
Yes, Colonel, I did.
You found Red Hawk's killer?
Well, not quite that. But I know now why Red Hawk was killed.
Yes? Why?
With the Colonel's permission, I'll keep that information to myself. It'll help me catch the killer.
But you have some idea who he is.
I'll put it this way. I'm sure I can produce the guilty man if given time.
Time. That's the one thing we haven't got, mister. The 24 hours that Lone Eagle gave us is over half gone now.
I'm aware of that, and I have a suggestion to make. One that will give us the additional time we need. Send a message to Lone Eagle saying that you found his son's murderer. Then stage a fake execution for Lone Eagle's benefit.
You mean just pretend to kill a man?
That's right. Load the rifles with blanks and have the condemned man fall dead when they go off.
Say, that's an idea. If it worked, it would give us plenty of time to catch the real murderer.
And equally important, it might eliminate the danger of an uprising.
There's no reason why the idea shouldn't work if properly planned.
Just one question. Who's going to play the part of the condemned man?
I'll volunteer for that.
But Kemosabe.
It's all right, Tonto. I know what I'm doing.
Well, it's rather a wild idea, Colonel, but I suppose we might as well try it.
That's certainly better than doing nothing.
I agree. Get word to Lone Eagle. Have him come to the fort immediately. Then arrange for a firing squad, and we'll stage the execution on the parade ground at 3 o'clock.
Yes, sir.
Now, the rest of you had better wait here. Won't be long now.
Well, I have a little business to attend to. If you'll excuse me, Colonel, I'll be back later.
Well, if this plan of yours works, mister, Washington will certainly be grateful to you.
Well, let's wait and see what happens.
Well, did you find out anything?
Plenty. And I think we've got the masked man right where we want him. He suggested a fake execution to fool Lone Eagle and to gain time for the investigation. And the colonel agreed.
That's not what we want.
Of course not. But I don't think this is going to work out just the way the masked man thinks it is. Because you're going to volunteer for the firing squad, and your gun will be loaded with live ammunition.
What about the Indian? He saw the gold, too.
Ah, don't worry about him. We'll take care of him later. The masked man comes first.
Here comes Lone Eagle now. I'd better go and meet him. You two wait here until Captain Davis comes for you.
Very well.
Me not like this, Kemosabe. If Haskins guilty man, you put yourself in dangerous spot.
That's exactly what I plan to do, Tonto.
Me not understand.
I'm sure Haskins is guilty and that he has an accomplice here at Fort Thorne, but I have no proof. By giving Haskins a chance to do away with me, I hope to get the proof that we need and at the same time expose his accomplice.
You think Haskins' man volunteered for a firing squad?
Yes, with the idea of firing a live bullet at me instead of a blank.
But how you stop this?
You'll do it, Tonto.
How me do that?
Come here, I'll show you. Those are the rifles that the firing squad will use. They'll not be issued until just before the execution is to take place. You watch from this window and warn me the instant any man on that firing squad makes a false move.
Me understand now, but you take big risk, Kemosabe.
A necessary risk, Tonto, if we're to catch the criminals and prevent an Indian uprising.
Forward, march. Column left, march. Detail, out. Left, face. At ease. Everything is ready, sir.
Very well. Bring out the prisoner.
You'd better put this blindfold on me to make it look authentic. Now, remember your instructions, Tonto. Keep your eyes open.
Me watch firing squad like hawk. Call to you if any man tried to change blank bullet for live one.
Right.
There. That look like a tide.
All set, mister, if you are.
I'm ready.
Then let's go. Detail. Attention. Take arms. Forward, arm. Load. Ready? Aim.
Stop! Stop! Don't shoot!
Order, arms. At ease.
What is it, Tonto? What did you see?
Me see nothing, Kemosabe. Get hit on head and who can watch?
Well, mister, is this part of your plan?
Well, it's obvious, isn't it, Colonel, that the masked man's plan to fool Lone Eagle just didn't work.
You tell big lie. No catch murder. Try to fool me.
Yes, we did try to fool you, Lone Eagle, but only to gain time to catch the real murderer. And I think we've succeeded. Haskins, the attack on Tonto convinces me that my suspicions were correct. I accuse you of murdering Lone Eagle's son.
You accuse me? Why, this is absurd.
Colonel, Haskins and his accomplice murdered Red Hawk to conceal the fact that there's gold on the reservation. When Tonto and I discovered this, they tried to murder us.
What proof have you of these charges?
These rifles are supposed to be loaded with blanks. One of them contains a real bullet intended for me. Only Haskins and his accomplice know which rifle this is.
Oh, don't listen to him, Colonel. It's all nonsense.
If it's nonsense, Haskins, then you can't object if I fire this rifle at you.
Now, wait a minute. Wait.
Well, Haskins?
All right.
Now, how about this one?
Colonel, do I have to stand for this?
I find this very interesting, Mr. Haskins. I suggest that we proceed.
Go ahead, fire it.
Give him that rifle.
All right, Haskins. How about this one?
Stop! I didn't shoot him. I didn't do the killing. He did.
Why, you double-crosser.
Grab him, men! Are you satisfied, Lone Eagle, that we have the real criminal now?
Me satisfied. Me keep peace treaty now.
That's pretty good news for me. Of course, I owe it all to the masked man.
Me hear him before, him man who always fight for justice. Him called Lone Ranger. Spin over!